Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I'm going to be giving you my player ratings from Manchester United's 2-0 win over Tottenham at Old Trafford. So we'll start with the man between the sticks, David De Gea. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought his distribution was good throughout the game and he made one good save in the game to deny Harry Kane. It was De Gea's 501st appearance for the club. He's enjoyed a lot of good games this season. De Gea was poor in the first two games. He let two soft goals in the 2-1 home defeat to Brighton on the opening day. And he was accountable for two goals in the 4-0 thrashing of Brentford. But I think apart from that, he has done well. We're not too sure if David De Gea is going to be staying at the club after next year, because Eric Ten Hag, like updated you, has delayed contract decisions on De Gea and Marcus Rashford. But De Gea could leave Man United on a free transfer at the end of the season. His current contract at the club expires next year. There's an option of an additional year. He earns around £375,000 a week. De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club. Earlier on this year, he won the Players' Player of the Year award. He's made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. He's enjoyed around 11 years or so at Man United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Man United got De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. Right back, Diego Dalot. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he played very well against Tottenham. I thought defensively he was good and he got forward well and he also got into some good positions. Dalot's played in every game this season and to his credibility, he's been impressive in a lot of games this season. Dalot is Manchester United's first choice right back under Eric Ten Hag. He was also our first choice right back under Rangnick. So there's no way back for Wan-Bissaka. Bissaka's been injured anyway. There's a good chance that Wan-Bissaka will be leaving the club next year. But Dalot has been at Man United for a good few years now. We brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. Man United got him from Porto. They paid around 19 million. Dalot's contract at the club expires next year. Moving on to Raphael Varane. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he brought the ball out well from the back. He got forward well. And he was very effective in the air. Of course, Varane was playing alongside Lisandro Martinez. And like I've mentioned so many times, most of the time they play very well together. Don't forget Varane had an injury earlier on this season. He's had a few injuries as a United player. Manchester United did sign Raphael Varane from Real Madrid. Obviously, since we brought Raphael Varane in, Lindelof's obviously been he's been struggling to get into the team. Lindelof did play a few games not so long ago because Varane was out with injury. Moving on to Lisandro Martinez. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. Looked well composed. And he dealt with Harry Kane well. What an impact Lisandro Martinez has made since he come to Manchester United. Manchester United got him from Ajax in a deal worth 57 million. Obviously, since Martinez's arrival, Maguire, hasn't been getting in the team. Well, Maguire's been injured anyway. Moving on to Luke Shaw. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a pretty good game. I've seen better performances by Luke Shaw, but, I thought Luke Shaw in the game was energetic, made some good runs, got in some good positions, did have a very good chance, by the way, from a volley in the game, produced a good save from Hugo Lloris. Luke Shaw is injury prone, which is a concern, but he's been a long-serving player at Manchester United. He's enjoyed around 9 years or so at the club. His contract at the club expires next year. Obviously, he hasn't started loads of games this season, Luke Shaw, because obviously Ten Hag's decided to start Tyrell Malacia ahead of Luke Shaw. Moving on to Casemiro, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought he was brilliant in that midfield. I do recall him having the chance in the game as well. Was unlucky not to score. It won't be long now before Casemiro gets his first goal as a Manchester United player. Obviously, against Tottenham, he was playing alongside Fred in that midfield. He's played a few times alongside Fred. Man United got Casemiro from Real Madrid in a deal worth 70 million. Moving on to Fred, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. That was his best performance of this season so far. Fred obviously scored Manchester United's first goal. Obviously, it took a deflection off Ben Davies, so you can say the goal was a bit fortuitous. Fred should have had more than one goal because he had some good chances in that game. One produced a good save from Hugo Lloris. Fred always seems to put a good performance out against Tottenham. I think Fred also got an assist in the game, by the way. Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk in a deal worth around 52 million around 3 or 4 years ago. Fred is still starting games even though we brought Casemiro and Christian Eriksen in. Fred, I don't think, though, was too good in the 0-0 draw against Newcastle. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a superb game. Bruno Fernandes scored Manchester United's second goal. It was a right-footed curl effort. And Bruno Fernandes should have had more than one goal because he had some good chances. He had one chance from a free kick that produced a good save from Hugo Lloris. Ronaldo wasn't in the lineup against Tottenham, and, we get the best out of Bruno Fernandes when Ronaldo isn't playing, but when he's playing with Ronaldo, we can't seem to get the best out of him. Doesn't really make much sense because Fernandes and Ronaldo both played together for Portugal. Fernandes has had poor games this season, he's had good games. He has been a United player for over 2 years now. Manchester United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Moving on to Anthony. He's going to get a 7 out of 10. He had a very good game. I thought he pressed well. He kept the ball well. Had some good chances well. One of the chances he had hit the inside of the post from long range, so was unlucky not to score. And he had another chance as well from long range, and Hugo Lloris actually spilt it. Anthony so far has scored 3 goals as a Manchester United player. Man United got Anthony for €100 million. That equates to around £86 million in pounds sterling. He's Man United's second most expensive signing ever, and he's the 4th most expensive signing in Premier League history. Moving on to Jadon Sancho. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He had a good game. He did get the assist for Fred's opening goal. Sancho scored around 3 goals this season for Man United. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Rashford had some big chances in that game against Tottenham. Don't know how he didn't score. Rashford's really improved this season, but he's just got to be more clinical. Revert back to the 0-0 draw with Newcastle. Rashford, missed a chance in stoppage time from a header. He had big chances in the game against the Nicosia at Old Trafford. Not so long ago, Marcus Rashford got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. Like I said, Rashford's future's in doubt. His current contract at the club expires next year. There is an option to extend for a further year. Man United brought substitutions on in the game. We saw Scott McTominay come on. I'll give him just a 6 out of 10. McTominay missed the 0-0 draw with Newcastle because he was suspended. Don't forget McTominay scored the winner in the 93rd minute of stoppage time in the game against the Nicosia at Old Trafford. So McTominay saved Man United from humiliation. Christian Eriksen came on against Tottenham. So reflecting on that, he reunited against his former club. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. And Anthony Elanga came on in the game, and I will give him a 5 out of 10. So that is your player ratings for Manchester United's 2-0 win against Tottenham at Old Trafford. Revert back to what I said on my match reaction. Man United dominated Tottenham. It was Man United's best performance under Erik ten Hag. I read stats of the game. Man United had a total of 28 shots. We had around 10 shots on target. We had 19 first half attempts. Of course, Man United had players missing. Bissaka's been injured. Martial, of course, has been out of injury. He came off injured in the first half against Everton. Van der Beek's been out with a knock. Harry Maguire's still injured. Brandon Williams has been out of injury for a while, but he doesn't get in the team anyway. Tuanzebe's injured. So there you go. But Manchester United beat a very good Tottenham side. Tottenham have done well this season. And Tottenham have a good manager in Antonio Conte. Don't forget, Man United tried to get Antonio Conte when Man United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so we're looking at him as a replacement for Solskjaer at the time. Conte's got a proven pedigree in the Premier League. He's certainly turned Tottenham around. Conte has been the Tottenham manager for almost a year. He got appointed in as the Tottenham manager back in November last year. He's in the final year of his Tottenham contract. Conte has been in talks over extending his Tottenham contract. Tottenham got Antonio Conte from Inter Milan. He did well at Inter Milan because he won quite a few trophies. Before Conte managed Chelsea, he won the Premier League in his first season with Chelsea. And I think he won the FA Cup as well, but Chelsea still ended up sacking him. Conte's managed quite a lot of clubs in his managerial career. Before Conte, Tottenham had Jose Mourinho. Yeah, Jose Mourinho did enjoy a good start to his managerial career at Tottenham. And then obviously it all went downhill, so Tottenham sacked him. Same sort of thing as what happened to Jose Mourinho at Man United. You know, Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. Them 3 trophies was the Europa League, the EFL Cup, and the Europa League. But Mourinho was poor in his second season. Plus at Man United he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. So that's why it didn't work out. Before Mourinho, Tottenham had Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino was a good manager when he was at Tottenham. He didn't win anything. He did enjoy a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham, and analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. And back in 2018, Pochettino got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and he got them to an FA Cup final. Don't forget, for such a long time, Manchester United would try to get Pochettino. Look at the players that Tottenham have got. They've got the likes of Harry Kane. Harry Kane has been at Tottenham for a lot of years. He's under contract with them until 2024. He's won the Golden Boot quite a few times. He's had loan spells before. Kane has won the Golden Boot a few times, yeah. Man United have been tentatively linked with him. We've been looking at him as a possible replacement for Ronaldo. Kane would cost a substantial amount though if Tottenham were to sell him. Tottenham have Richie Arledson. Now he missed the game at Old Trafford through injury. Tottenham signed him from Everton. Kuleveski, he also missed the game through injury. Tottenham have got him on loan. Emerson Royal, he played no part at Old Trafford because he was suspended. Lucas Moura's very good. Brian Gill, Tottenham have. They have Pape Sarr. Japet Tanganga, he just come back from injury not so long ago. Oliver Skip. Ryan Sessegnon, Tottenham signed him from Fulham. Doherty, he's a former Wolves player. Christian Romero's a good defender. Tottenham have Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. Davinson Sanchez. Heung-min Son, to be honest with you, Heung-min Son is better than Harry Kane, like I've mentioned on my recent videos. I think he's a better finisher than Kane. Tottenham's first choice goalkeeper is Hugo Lloris. Got to give him credit, I thought he made some very good saves at Old Trafford recently. He made like 5 good saves in that first half. The other goalkeepers have got is Fraser Forster and Brandon Austin. So there you go. And Tottenham have lost players. Don't forget they lost Dele Alli. I don't know where he is now, but last season he was out on loan with Everton. They lost Eric Lamela quite a few years ago. They let Toby Alderweireld go. They lost Christian Eriksen, and he was a long-serving player at Tottenham. Tottenham loan, don't forget Giovanni Lo Celso out. They loan Tanguy Ndombele out. Sergio Reguilon and Harry Winks. So yeah. Manchester United obviously beat Tottenham at Old Trafford last season 3-2. If you do remember rightly, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick in that game. And we won away at Tottenham last season 3-0. Obviously, you know the news regarding Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo walked down the tunnel before full time. And obviously Eric Ten Hag's already mentioned that he's going to deal with Ronaldo storming off down the tunnel. Ronaldo is dropped from the Man United squad for Chelsea. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.